finished up some stuff with night stuff with the family, and let me pull up the stream here on my phone so I can read your comments. Okay, perfect. Get everything settled. And we'll just wait a moment for see if anybody shows up. Got my Marcos shirt here. So let's see. I'm gonna eat some pizza Pringles. One of the most pizza things I have in the house right now. I also happen to have, well no, I have some pizza bites downstairs, I think too. Yes, Colby, pizza Pringles, we're good. So, Marco's shirt. Marco's, their claim, the thing that makes them special over other pizzas is they say they're real Italian pizza. I had to learn this for the online training that I'm having to do for working there. Pat Gianmarco came over from Italy in like the 60s, or probably older than that. But, and so he worked and started, he worked at his family's pizzeria, which I wonder if it's just Marco's Pizzeria. I tried to see if I could find a specific name for the one his family started, but I couldn't. So it's probably just Marco's. But he and his dad made the sauce recipe. And then, I forget his name, but some other guy turned it into a franchise and like gave him a bunch of money. And so Marco's is Italian pizza. But there are so many different pizza places around here that it's honestly kind of sort of almost annoying. Like, I'm gonna try them at some point because I'm curious what they taste like. But it's like a Mountain Man pizza or something down in the Best Buy area. I've tried Via 313, and they're I don't know. So Colby asked how I like Marco's. I do actually like Marco's pretty good, and there's part of the reason that I like Marco's pretty good is because before Marco's, I worked at Sweeto Burrito. I worked there for 2 years, and it was really good job. And I would have stayed working at Marco's, except for the management was switching around. And so instead of being the franchise owned, it was being owned by corporate, which supposedly will be better. But let me tell you, corporate wasn't really that great. There were a lot of things that weren't so good. And also, like, I was going to see how corporate was going to be with new management and the transition. But then, like, they've had the store closed for a while, and I think it's still closed for remodeling or repairs, is what the sign says. So, guess what? I followed my manager from Sweeto over to Marco's, along with a bunch of other coworkers from Sweeto. So, yeah, I'm at Marco's now, and it's good. There has been a little bit of rough edges with, like, some of the old employees not liking the new management. And, part of it is some people don't want to change when they need to. Part of it is that my manager is, learning things still and figuring out how things work. And so it goes a little bit of both ways. But thankfully, a lot of people have liked me. Like, at first, I tried to say, hey, your new manager, I worked with him for 2 years. He's great. Just give him a chance, and he'll give you a chance, which is true. But after a while, I just, stopped and didn't really say much on either side and just tried to do a good job. And people have seen that, and they like how good I am on the phones at taking orders. And, yeah, honestly, that's what I do with any job, really. But it's great. I like it. I worked at Lucy's back in 2015, if anyone remembers that. So it's been a pretty easy transition. The online training, that's been a little bit annoying because it's so long. Hey, we got Stephanie here, and she's actually using her YouTube account. Hello. This is wonderful. Game pizza, she says. Whatever game pizza is. Unless I'm streaming this as a game. Is that a setting? I don't know. But, so, Marco's has been good. I've been there for maybe a month now or so. I'm making a decent amount of money with, including tips. Like, I'm not going to say dollar figures in this video, but like, what I was getting paid hourly was a little more at Sweeto, and there's a chance for me to maybe get paid a little more at Marco's eventually, but I was getting paid a little more at Sweeto hourly, but I'm making more at Marco's once you include tips. And I don't want to get into a lot of details. Some of this stuff is a little personal and inside work stuff, but like, I'll definitely say there's a lot of things on both sides. And so you can hear one thing on one side and it's like, oh no, that person really is getting paid more. Why? And then you find out, oh, they're a manager, whatever. So there's a little bit of fire on both sides, but it's mostly settled down. And I think we have good people. And yeah, I like it. It's a good job. Making pizza is not too difficult. I'm good at cutting pizza. I'm slowly getting back into it. I can toss pizza, which I'll do that at some point on the video. Probably not at Marco's, but I will, like, you know, come home and I'll make a pizza here. So I'm going to recap. I mentioned this in my lighter video because Colby asked. Pizza that I like. There are certain toppings I like on pizza. Any combination of these from almost anywhere is usually good. So not thin crust. I'm not a huge fan of thin crust. It's usually too crispy. I just don't like it. But, so mozzarella cheese, regular pizza sauce, pepperoni, onions, either red or white. Both are good. Some green onions would be pretty nice too. She asked if I'm going to make food episodes with experimental pizza. Actually, yeah, I do have some plans for that. I'll tell you about some ideas I want to try for some pizza stuff in a bit. So, pepperoni, onions, roasted garlic. Blaze Pizza is my favorite pizza place. They have roasted garlic. I love it. It's so good. Banana peppers are good on pizza usually. I don't do those all the time though. Green peppers definitely. And then jalapeno sometimes. Or like sometimes I'll do a half jalapeno, half not. It depends on how spicy the jalapenos are. At Marco's, they're okay. And I think that's mostly it. I would put other stuff on a pizza. So I'm gonna make this at some point and have the coworkers at Marco's try it. Probably not a video, but so yeah, I don't remember if I had a YouTube channel at this point or not, but so I'm gonna guess I was like 16, maybe 17. I had a birthday party with friends, and we bought pizza from good old $5 Pizza. Which, if you're outside of Utah, $5 Pizza there might be one location still open maybe. $5 Pizza, their thing, it's not $5 like Little Caesars. No, their thing was free toppings for any. So they had a really small pizza that was like 8-inch that wasn't free toppings, but you could get any pizza that was 10 inches or above. Free toppings. Just pick whatever you want. Their pizza was a little different. The toppings didn't stick quite as good. It was, I don't know how to describe it, but it was different from most pizza. Like your Domino's, Little Caesars, Pizza Hut. Those are all kind of what you think of as generic. They're all a little different in their own way, yes, but it was different in a way that I can't quite describe. And I liked it for being different. Actually, so if any of you guys go to my Facebook, it's just Caleb Rogers. That's my name. You should be able to find me there. Pretty much everything I do on Facebook is public except for personal conversations. If you look through my photos, there's a photo of me with my my cockatiel Jima, and like she's on my shoulder about to take a bite because I'm sharing some of my pizza crust with her, and then I've got a slice of pizza myself. That's a $5 pizza. So I loved $5 Pizza. Sadly, they're gone, and now it's Lignaggio Pizza. I I'm not trying to be rude to the company, but for some reason, like Naggio, I just instantly think of like nauseating something. It's not nauseating. Like Naggio is, it's more like normal other pizza from other places. I wouldn't say it's better. Although, you get 3 free toppings, I believe, and then after that, you have to pay for toppings, which is still better than most places. All right, and I haven't been there in a while, so yeah, I wish they still had free toppings. Blaze Pizza does, but they're not as cheap though. But they're a different style. They're like walk down the line and pick stuff. So So back to my birthday party though. I had bought some pizza from Five Buck Pizza, right? But then I made one pizza at home because I was trying something. So I had the dough tossed out. I did sauce, mozzarella cheese, pepperoni. Then from the dollar store, I had 3 different flavors of potato chips, some Gardettos like snack mix, but it wasn't Gardettos, and then like some knockoff spicy Cheetos on there or something like that. It was good. My friends loved it. It was like salty and it was so I'm gonna make that again at some point. I wanna like bring some of those things into Marcos and be like, hey everyone, I'm making a pizza that we can all share. And because like at Marcos you get a free cheesy bread when you work. I don't know if you get anything else, but there's the team pizza thing where like the team can make a large pizza and then you can all share it. And I think that's one per shift. So at some point, I'm going to recreate the snack food pizza. That's going to be great. Another thing I want to do from pizza, and first, I want to shout out someone's done something similar already. So Nate from the internet. If you guys have ever seen The King of Random, he was one of the hosts on there, and now he's got his own channel now that he's not doing that. And actually, I'm not going to say what it is, but I have a few ideas where I want to reach out to him and see if he wants to get together and do a video. That's going to be fun because I have some ideas that could use his engineering experience, and he wants to do stuff with people. But he started a series where he makes stuff using the most expensive ingredients versus the cheapest ingredients, and he's done pizza. So what I want to do now is I want to go to this is something where I'm tempted to see if I want to see if my cousin wants to do this maybe because he was into food and cooking. Or sorry, no, cousin once removed because he's my cousin's child. So I want to go to Dollar Tree and I want to buy all the ingredients to make pizza from scratch. So like we can get stuff to make the dough from Dollar Tree, except for the yeast. We'll have to go to the store and get yeast, but it's like what 69 cents for a thing of yeast. I don't know, maybe closer to $1 because prices are going up. So with that, we can make pizza. Dollar Tree also used to have pre-made pizza crusts that were thin, so we'll grab some of those. We're also going to be comparing, I think Dollar Tree has pre-made pizza sauce versus if we tried to make our own sauce from ingredients at Dollar Tree from scratch. So we're going to be comparing a few different varieties of scratch and almost scratch made pizza from Dollar Tree versus if I just went to the freezer at Dollar Tree and grabbed a pizza off the shelf. That's a comparison video that I want to do at some point. I'm going to wait and do that once I get a few more things set up and I'm started up and running a little bit more for now. For now, it's going to be what you've been seeing plus this. But those are some things that I want to do. And I can't really guarantee that I will do them because I don't know what's going to happen with the channel as I get started here. But that's an option. What else can I say about pizza? I mean, I've had various pizza over the years. Little Caesars pizza, they're okay. I used to like Pizza Hut, but then I didn't like them. I'm very picky about cheese. That's the one thing that can make or break a pizza for me is the cheese. What's the word? So when you eat cheese and there's a cheesy sting, like if you eat cheddar and it has a cheesy sting to it, and then you eat, I don't know, let's say some fancy like Gouda cheese, and there's that same taste between the Gouda and the cheddar, and then you have mozzarella and gorgonzola and whatever, and they all have that same cheesy taste. I've never had gorgonzola, by the way, but that one flavor that's the same amongst all the cheeses, if that's too strong, I do not like the cheese, and I'll gag, and it will be gross. The smell will trigger my gag reflex, and I'll have to be very cautious and clear out of the room and light a candle, and so I don't puke. I know that's gross, but I have a really strong gag reflex. Like this isn't gonna spoil too much, but there's a video I'm working on, and I'm gonna have to reshoot some stuff. But in one clip, I'm gagging, acting it out. There's not a bad smell. And then, like, after I'm done recording a clip, like, I go in the bathroom and I throw up a bit because I triggered my gag reflex. Not fun. But, so, yeah, I mean, Domino's was pretty good. I used to be a somewhat regular at Domino's, and I got enough points to get a free pizza there. But now I'm Blaze Pizza. Blaze is just my pizza. Unless I want, like, cheap pizza. Like, if I don't have a lot of money and I want some pizza, I mean, I work at Marco's now, so it's pretty easy to get a hold of a mess up pizza. We, like, have so many mess up pizzas there that, like, if we ever mess up your pizza, there's a chance you'll get to keep the mess up pizza plus whatever other pizza we make right for you. Which, we've had a little bit of rough patches because we're trying to hire some new people. And so there's been some things where I'm sure some people aren't coming back again or ordering again because it's taken a while to get our deliveries out. Like, we didn't have a driver the other week for a while, and we had to get a driver from another store to come in and help. So it's been a bit rough, but I think we're getting back on track to success, and things are going to turn out great. But, so, I mean, yeah, but so if I want a cheap pizza and I don't work at a pizza place, I'll just go to the store and grab the cheapest pizza I can find, and that'll be good enough to satisfy my pizza craving. The whatever the store brand is for like $1 or less, maybe. French bread pizza is really good. I love French bread pizza. Or like Totino's pizza is okay. Good cheap pizza. I usually have Pizza Bites in my freezer. Those are usually pretty good. I'll probably do a Pizza Bites taste test comparison because there's some interesting ones out there. Like I think it's Michel's, whatever. Not Michelin because they're the tire company that also has the Michelin star in Asian countries. But the Michelle's, I forget how you pronounce it. The one that has the old lady on there. I don't like her pizza bites because they taste like oregano. Just a big, strong oregano punch. And I don't like it. But DiGiorno's a good pizza. They're probably my favorite frozen pizza out of the ones I've tried. I remember I saw, I think it's the Outsiders Pizza Company. It's a deep dish style pizza. I saw that and I'm like, oh, that looks really good. Oh, but it's $8. That's expensive for a frozen pizza. No, thank you. But then months later, I tried it. This was before I was back on my channel. I tried it, and it was disappointing. Tony's Pizza, you know, Tony's are like their little ones are called Taste of Tony's. Those are pretty good. One time at Dollar Tree, this was back when I was working there. I don't know if we still had. Yeah, I was obviously yes, I was on the channel at that time. We got a bunch of like full size Tony's pizzas there. Probably like a special because every once in a while Dollar Tree will get a special, but then also every once in a while Dollar Tree gets like something from Family Dollar. And even though like our Family Dollar is right next to our just mark it for $1 and sell it. But like I was like yes, and I bought a whole bunch of them and stuffed our freezer full of Tony's pizzas. Red Baron's good. I used to buy Red Baron quite regularly, especially when they had the small Red Baron pizzas for $1 at Dollar Tree. I think that was the best price per ounce for Red Baron. Plus, it's a small, easy to heat up and eat pizza. But Dollar Tree doesn't do that anymore. And now it's only like Winco has them, but they're more expensive. So yeah. I've tried Winco, like their deli pizza. That was pretty good one time once. I've just had a lot of different pizza that's been good. Pizza's the thing where it's kind of hard to go wrong with, unless like I don't like the cheese on top. I remember I tried the Little Caesars pizza and sticks combination once, because like someone brought it over as a gift. It was like someone from my singles ward. They hadn't seen me in a while because I was busy with family stuff, and they brought me a pizza, see how I was doing, and it was actually pretty good. I was skeptical at first. I didn't tell them that I don't like Little Caesars, but I ate it and like this isn't too bad. So maybe it was like one time where their cheese was different, and I didn't like it that one time. But now something interesting. Christmas of last year, I ordered a pizza from Domino's, and then I got a phone call from them, and like I don't answer the phone unless I recognize it, but I don't remember if they texted me or not, or if I finally answered. They might have texted me. And I'm also currently my voicemail. If you call me, will say, "Hey, you've reached Caleb Rogers. Leave a message. It's better to text me." Something like that. I got that idea from someone else. I don't think I had that as my thing, but either way, I finally answered the phone after getting called a few times by this number. Like, "Hey, this is Domino's." It was some girl. We don't have a driver right now. He didn't show up, so you can either cancel the order or come pick up your pizza. So I checked with my parents. My mom was able to give me a ride just barely before a chiropractic patient. So we went. We picked up the pizza. When I went inside, it was just this one girl around 19 or so. She was the only one there. And I felt a little bit sad for her. I'm like, hey, I work at Sweeto Burrito. I know what it's like when someone doesn't show up for work. And so it was kind of like a relatable, and she like smiled and agreed. And thankfully, there was only one other guy in the store. It didn't seem too busy. Now that I've worked at Margot's Pizza during a transition, I understand a little better what it's like not to have a driver. Like, if ever we don't have a driver, or on nights when we have just one driver and it's going to take too long to get deliveries out, we'll call people. Like, we'll tell them it's going to take too long or we can't accept delivery on the phone. But if it's online, we have to go call them and say, hey, it's going to take a long time or we can't deliver it because we don't have a driver. But if you want to come pick it up in the store, we'll offer you a 10% discount for the trouble. And yeah, we mess up a pizza, we'll like give it to you. And I don't know if every place is gonna do that, but look at it this way. If we mess up a pizza, we can't give it to somebody else if you've already taken it away and it's been gone. Like if we have the pizza in the store, it's messed up somehow, but it ends up being right for another order, we'll give it to you. Or like if we haven't given you the pizza and it's messed up, we'll just make another one, and that one will go in our pile of mess ups that the employees can eat for a certain amount of time, and then it will go from there. And we throw away like lots and lots of mess up pizzas. And I'm one of the few people there that will eat old pizza. So here's the thing: growing up, I grew up in an environment where like if you leave pizza out on the stove or the table overnight, it's fine. Refrigerating it will last longer, but it's perfectly fine if you leave it out overnight and eat some slices the next morning for breakfast. Did that quite often whenever we'd have pizza. It was good. But then, um, when I went to culinary school, 2012, 2013, I we were talking about like germs and stuff and how food grows in Fat Tom, how food needs so germs need food, acidity, time, temperature, oxygen, and moisture to grow. And so pizza, like cheese pizza, might not be as good the next day, the teacher said, but like pepperoni, because it's a little bit spicy, could help fight off some of the germs. So that would be better the next day. I see Colby asked if I ever want to go to Italy. I'll get to that in just a second. So, so far it seemed like people were in agreement that pizza is fine the next day if you leave it out. But then one time, easily 7 years ago, I was reading online because I was like, what does the internet have to say about this? What's their stance? So I did a Google search for is leftover pizza good? And then I went and I clicked on this one link to an internet forum. It wasn't Reddit. It's like, like the standard looking early 2000s internet forum? It was like that, one of those forums made on whatever that internet forum service is. I was scrolling down for at least 20 minutes on this forum and it was still going and going with comments. And it was literally a 50-50 split between, oh yeah, old pizza left out overnight's fine, and no, you're gonna die. Literally every other comment, I'm not joking, it's fine, you're gonna die. Oh, it's fine, I've done it, you're gonna die. It was so weird to see that. So working at Marco's now, and I don't know why I never thought about asking anyone at or when I worked at Lucy's, but most of my coworkers here are like, no. There's one or two coworkers that would say, maybe, like if I had to, or if it was all that was there, I might. But they wouldn't eat pizza that was left out overnight. If it was in the fridge, sure. And I have a coworker who's actually one of my neighbors, and he said his brother used to work at a pizza food truck. I forget the name, and apparently they like used egg and some other things in the pizza dough, and like he had a pizza that wasn't quite cooked all the way and left out overnight, and he ate it the next day, and it gave him salmonella. I don't know exactly if that's 100% true because I haven't heard it from the actual person, but so I say cold pizza left out overnight is fine. Enough people have been doing it for so long that it's gonna be fine. If you're really worried, put it in the fridge. So going to Italy, I don't really like traveling. I mean, it might be fun to go experience some things in Italy in a foreign country. Um, maybe, but like whenever I go traveling in a in like around the U.S. and stuff, there's a few places I've been enough, especially from when I was young, where I'm like okay with it. Like Grandma's house in Washington, that one's okay. But most of the time for me, it's just kind of taking me out of my comfort zone. I don't have the same routine, don't have my phone on my nightstand, just different things. So I don't necessarily like traveling. So I've never wanted to go to Italy, but it could be okay. Might be fun. But I probably wouldn't, because I also don't like turbulence on airplanes, and you'd have to fly there. Mm. Any up and down motion like that makes me uncomfortable and sick in the stomach. I don't like it. So like even elevators. Um, there was a thing where I regularly, for the past couple of years, would be going to this one building that had an elevator that I would use. So I've gotten used to elevators again, but now, um, there's one thing though that I might go to Italy for. Well, that I would want to try. It's not technically pizza, but a couple of months ago, I was on TV watching Rick Steves Europe, and I forget where they were exactly, but he was touring these villages in Italy where they're on a mountainside that faces the ocean or the sea, and there's like you can get to these different little villages in between bridges that connect them, and it's a nice hike. But you can also travel in between them via like a boat on the water or a ferry, I think it is. So like he went the nice hike between them, and then he went back to the bigger, more touristy of these villages, which is still relatively small compared to other places in Italy. He went back by a boat to get there, and um, he went to well, most of the restaurants there are mom and pop, even though like the chain restaurants, they're still technically mom and pop. He went to this one restaurant that was the biggest restaurant there. This sounds so good. And I need to say that I love dough and bread and just doughy things. And so they had this white oval dish with pasta in it, like, your regular pasta with red sauce. And then they took some pizza dough and they stretched it over the top of the bowl. And then they baked it in an oven. And I'm salivating, it sounds so good. And then they brought it out to his table and they like cut the top off and they grabbed it with some tongs and put it onto a plate next to the pasta. That looked so good. I told that to my parents, and my mom was like, too much flour and water with flour and water. Yeah, I get that, but that just sounds so amazing. I want to try that. Also, another thing, too, um, I need to look, because I always forget where it's from. It's, yes. Korean Pizza Hut hot dog pizza. So maybe it's either some kind of sausage. Go look that up. But what they specifically say, oops, I need my comments. What they specifically say is it is Noyo Crust pizza from Pizza Hut. And so, yes, Noyo Cresta Pizza. That's something that I want to try sometime because it looks interesting. Which, because of that, it's given me the idea. Something that I would think would be cool is imagine if you had a shipping service that could ship food from any restaurant from anywhere to you. And they'd have to freeze it, obviously. It wouldn't like fly to you so fast that you would get it in an hour or so and it would be still good. That'd be too much. But like if you could buy it, freeze it, and ship it to you. I know some stuff wouldn't be technically good after it was frozen because it would ruin texture. But I mean, like, imagine like the Noyo crusted pizza wouldn't be as good because it was frozen. I don't care. I would still get to taste it. It'd be close enough. Or I can imagine like if you had some kind of pastry that would like totally be ruined texture wise and mushy and not good once you froze it from Italy. I can imagine someone still might want to try that and have it shipped to their house somewhere. Or like I think of Sweeto burrito. Imagine if you could have a Sweeto burrito frozen and shipped to you in Africa because you want to try it. I think that would be totally sweet. So, yeah. What else? I think that's it for now for pizza. I'll probably remember something later on, but I don't know. Pizza, it's good. Oh, actually, a few more things. There's a channel I like called Ice Cream Sandwich. He does like animated videos about his life, and he did a video where he ranked pizza toppings. He even said once that he put French fries on pizza when he was young, and it was terrible. And so those aren't normal pizza toppings. He went off like a Domino's, I think, website and ranked all the toppings they had listed there. But um, what is it? Ooh, so that's a good video to go check out. But the things he reminded me of, I'm just gonna quickly talk a little more about toppings. All the toppings I mentioned before are good. So I'm gonna kind of put them in order. And like just cheese pizza. Cheese pizza, I think, I'm gonna sound a little mean with this. Every time I think of cheese pizza, I think of like wimpy people who can't handle it. Yeah, but I calm down and I remind myself that people have different tastes, they taste different things, they remember stuff differently. Some people can't handle spicy, so little kids especially. Cheese pizza is for little kids. That's fine. Or if you're an adult who just likes cheese pizza and not much else, okay, fine. To each his own. I'm not like always silently judging people whenever they get cheese pizza. You can have cheese pizza if that's your thing. Because I like some really, really weird stuff that people think is disgusting and ooh, gross. And what is it? Oh yeah. They so I get it and I calm myself down and have respect. So there's I remember too, my singles ward, the former bishop had a stone oven, and so sometimes we'd have pizza baking nights, and pretty good actually. And but sometimes they wouldn't have a lot of toppings, or like they had it so that cheese goes on last. I'm like, what? No, that's backwards. Although at Marco's, we do have like where you'll put on your cheese, and you want to make it so it touches the crust, and it helps keep the cheese stuck onto it, and then toppings, and then another sprinkle of cheese to help hold everything together on the pizza. So, um, you can put cheese on last. Or Detroit style puts the sauce on last. I've tried that once. It was okay. So pizza toppings ranked. Um, like cheese is good. Cheese goes on every pizza, but I'm not gonna put that on a high tier because picky about cheese, and I don't really remember tiers, but just say like I like all these toppings, so um, pepperoni is gonna be at the top for me. If I can only pick one topping, it's gonna be pepperoni. Okay. Um, I would say roasted garlic next, but not very many places have roasted garlic or garlic in general to put on pizza. Lucy's does, but it's not roasted. The only place I know of so far that has roasted garlic pizza is Blaze Pizza, my favorite pizza place. But so next, pepperoni, I would probably go with onion because I like a little bit of spice. So pepperoni and onion. Then next, I would follow up with green peppers as the next topping I would put on if I had to pick the fewest toppings. That's pretty good. And then finally, next would be jalapeno or pepperoncini, usually on half of the pizza. And then like some roasted garlic would be my next pick. There are some. Where is it? That's about it, really. I don't really like much else on my pizza. I'm sure somewhere. Oh, bacon. Yeah, bacon comes. Um, Bacon's good, but I put bacon a little bit lower because I like pepperoni with some vegetables first, and then some bacon. But really, if I can have all of those, why not? Drizzle of olive oil. That's something Blaze Pizza does that I specifically like, but it's an only Blaze thing. And yeah. So other toppings, I don't really like other toppings on pizza. Sausage, I do not like. Pepperoni is technically a sausage, so that's fine. I think I might have had Canadian bacon once. I don't, but like the breakfast type sausage, I don't like that. It's a lot of times it's like nasty. Imagine a sponge that's slimy, and then you dip it in fat, like beef fat. I don't like sausage. Sausage is a huge no for me. I'll pick sausage off. Although sausage is easier to pick off and not have it taint the flavor. Like like pineapple leaches flavor onto the pizza so bad that you can't really just pick off pineapple. You're gonna taste it. And olives I don't like. They're too bitter. Olive oil is good, but not olives. Those ones are a little harder to pick off too. They don't leach flavor as much, so those ones are less egregious. But I don't like them. Yeah, mostly the pizza toppings I don't really care for. Trying to think of what else we have. Oh, mushrooms, too bitter. I don't like mushrooms. What else do we have at Marco's that I don't like? Chicken can be okay on pizza. I haven't had a lot of good chicken pizza. I don't really like our chicken. Now, there are some weird pizzas that I have had ideas for that I want to try. I'll finish with this, and then I need to go take care of some other things and get ready for bed, get a little more food. But, so one pizza idea that I had back when I worked at Lucy's, which I told this to a coworker at Marco's. This is the one who's my neighbor, and he said he was getting tired of hearing my pizza combinations because none of them are good, in his opinion, I will say. And so I'm like, all right, the last pizza idea that I'll check with you, and then I won't bother you anymore. I didn't say bother, but the last idea I'll check. Potato salad pizza. They already have that. It's just, like potato salad on bread. But does it have pizza sauce and cheese? Ew, that would be disgusting. No. So I want to try a potato salad pizza. Just like some potato salad on a cheese and sauce and pizza crust. And southern style. But here's the thing though. Once I was thinking about it that one day, I realized that I only like my potato salad if it's cold. Once it gets warm, I don't like the texture of it. I'm picky about mayonnaise and really creamy foods like that. So maybe like make just like the cheese pizza and then put some potato salad on it. That's probably going to sound gross to a lot of people, but that's a pizza that I want to try. Also, I thought of this at Marco's. This is a newer idea, but I want to do like imagine like some cheese and sauce with an olive oil drizzle, some roasted garlic, and some pistachios. I think that'd be a pretty fire pizza that I want to try. I've also thought about like imagine if you had like a pizza with a cinnamon roll crust. So like the crust was actually glazing in cinnamon, and the pizza was like a pepperoni pizza. Which maybe not with the sweet glazing, but cinnamon has been put on pizza before in other countries. Like my aunt had a pepperoni and cinnamon pizza in the Middle East where she served in the military because that's what they do over there. Because over there, cinnamon is a savory flavor to them, and then like they think America's kind of weird for making cinnamon as a sweet thing. And if you think about it, it is like cinnamon and sugar is usually sweet. It's a sweeter cinnamon, and which cinnamon is the bark of a cinnamon tree. But then like you have like the atomic fireballs and stuff is a more savory, I would say cinnamon. It's really spicy. So I don't know. But so cinnamon roll crust pizza could be good. I've also thought about like you have flavored crust pizza, like at Marco's we'll put like garlic butter and cheese on the crust sometimes. But also there's like where we have or like Hungry Howie's does flavored crust pizza. I love their sesame crust, and I need to ask them what they do because like you can actually taste the sesame really strong. Whereas like if you do it how you would think they would, like just sprinkle them on like you would a sesame seed bun, it's not very good. You can't. It's not very strong flavored. So, but what if you mix things into the crust as flavor, like either mix sesame or like a barbecue pizza, and you squirted a little bit of barbecue sauce into the crust and mixed it around. Those are some ideas for pizza that I've had that I think would be good. Anyways, that's pretty much it for pizza. I'm gonna go take care of some other stuff and get ready for bed, and. But thanks to all who tuned in and had a great time with you guys, and yeah, I will see you guys in whatever's next.